Okay. So the last thing is, as I advance in my own career, I love to share things with you guys because you may come to these realizations even before I do, because we're all at different stages. So now at my age, I have content. I have leads, I have videos, I have photos, I have experiences. And here's this problem I'm having, and I never hear anyone talk about it, and I'm going to talk about it. It's embarrassing to admit I don't know what to do with it. Other people have the problem of I don't know what to record, I don't know what to post, my hair is not good, my makeup's terrible, my tie's not on straight. Who cares? I don't care about that because I won't watch my stuff. But I don't. I just go and if I think something's funny, I unfortunately think everyone else is going to think it's funny. Like my latest post, I'm like this. You guys got to see what I just did today, and I just don't care. But I don't know what to do with it. And Tamika's like saying all these words that I don't even understand. And she's like, you could do this, this, and this, and this. So there's so many parts to her that I just wanted her on today. And Tamika, if you wouldn't mind, start with your origin story and then take it away.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me today. Actually, what I'm going to play, the first thing I'm going to play is a little video that I used when I did a recent presentation. So, are you guys seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's about 2 minutes longer. So, it's going to just share a little bit about me. And so, here we go.
Tameka James is a mother of two children that migrated to Florida during the pandemic. She is what we call a transplant. She loves brownies, travel, dancing, and doesn't eat meat. She's a pescatarian. Just to take you back a little bit, she was an international stylist and salon owner in Maplewood, New Jersey, specializing but not limited to hair replacement, styling, and business. She's a motivational speaker and author of the book, You Got Way More in You. Where is it? Tameka was formerly the president and founder of the Stylist and Salon Owners Network, the creator of the DSW, which is the detachable sewn weave, the Makani weaving technique, roll and sew, and the wig molding process, the author of the Braid Patterns for Weaving book. She was also the CEO of the Extensions Expo show, which is the New Jersey trade show, especially made for hair extensions training, a past educator at Dudley's DCU, and a platform artist working with several companies. She received the Educator of the Year award, being honored by Bronner Brothers. Tameka has trained thousands of stylists with hands-on instruction in many states and countries, including but not limited to Paris, Bahamas, Haiti, Curacao, Canada, and more. Tameka put down the shares to assist entrepreneurs with PSO. This is her coaching framework, planning, strategizing, and organizing for business and life. They are both connected. Tameka's transition from behind a chair has motivated many entrepreneurs to take the leap with proper planning. There's no mistake that you met her. Although Tameka loves coaching, she is a business entrepreneur at heart. Her other business is called CTJ 360 Photo Booth. This is a photo booth business that is very unique and has some components that most others do not have. One of the main services is recording testimonies for organizations that need social proof. The specialty is that every video that is recorded is deliverable to the person who is leaving the testimony as well as the person who hired the company. This business is in alignment with everything Tameka believes in because she has been doing events for many years. At this point, she is able to support the event as well as the business owner with more visibility. I present to you, Tameka James.
All right. And this is me running in at all right. So I wanted to share that with you so you guys could get a little background on me before I get started today. So I'm super excited about just who I am, the woman that I've become. I've been Tameka in the making for many years. So as you can see, I was in the beauty industry, then I transitioned out. So for at this point, I'll start from there. So 4 years ago, I was doing hair and I was educating. I literally traveled the world, guys. I would wake up in so many different places and forget where the heck I was because I traveled educating at least 2 to 3 times at a minimum per month And I was gone for at least 3 to 4 days at a time on every single trip. So I would wake up in a hotel and I would be like, where am I? And that was a consistent thing. So over time, guys, I did all of this. The pandemic happened, and I really was in a position where I was like, I actually don't want to continue doing hair. I loved it. I was a stylist that did celebrities, that trained other stylists, that did all of these things. But that one day I woke up, I didn't want to do it anymore. And I realized that I didn't have to, because when the pandemic happened, I ended up utilizing my online presence. And this is, one of the reasons why Sherry has me here is to talk about who I am and the things that I do. I started working online, coaching, helping people with all sorts of things. And when that pandemic happened, everything was shut down. So the computer was all we had and the social media was all we had. So I utilized my social presence. I created groups on Facebook. So I would go into the groups and I would support people at no cost. And at some point, of course, people needed more additional help. So I started training them on how to utilize their social media. I trained them on how to use their computers, because people are still confused about how to do something so simple as a spreadsheet, utilizing, doing things in email, putting links in, like all the things that I think we should know, but people still don't know. So I was able to create coaching programs, do Zooms consistently. And my Zoom account, guys, I pay almost $200 a month for my Zoom account. Now, some people, they are still stuck on trying to figure out if they should get past the 30 minutes, that the free 30 minutes that Zoom gives you. But for me, I'm paying like $200 because I have storage. I do all of these different things. I have several accounts within Zoom. Any case, guys, when the pandemic happened, I put those shares down. I made so much money online that I realized I don't have to do hair anymore, and I was done. So I moved here to Florida, and then I was just coaching. So now I went full fledged into, hey, I am going to be a life and business coach. I got the coach that would support me in being able to do that. I decided to do high ticket coaching, which I did for quite some time. And then, guys, I'm going to tell you, listen, you guys may have thought that I was going to come here and just tell you the success stories, but I think I need to tell you some of the behind the scenes things that kind of occurred along the way, that were the rockiness that happened, the rocky things happened. So everything's going well for 2 years. I moved to Florida. I'm coaching. I'm fully supported. Everything is fine. But then I have these high ticket clients that are paying me thousands of dollars. 3 of them specifically, all of a sudden couldn't pay. Every last one of them. Now I'm counting on their payments for the support to pay my rent, to pay all my bills, and all at once they couldn't pay. So it put me in a serious bind. So I had to make a shift. So when I made the shift, this is what happened. I was online searching. I'm like, what can I do? So I run into a video that is all about a 360 photo booth. And this is like so far fetched. I'm like, I don't know about this. But I said, I'm going to go for it. So, guys, I ordered the 360 and it came on New Year's, 3 days before New Year's Eve. And a friend of mine was having a New Year's party. I took it there. And guys, I set this thing up at the party. What in the world is going on with me? What was I thinking? But let me tell you how I was confident in being able to do this. I did all of the research that I could. When I tell you I sat up and I was online for hours and hours on end for like weeks, like 2.5 weeks straight, all I did was research. And I got all the information that I needed. So by the time I made it to that event, I was able to set that thing up, run it, and everyone loved it. There were a few kinks, but everything was fine. So shortly after that, I was able to start doing some more bookings. Every booking that I did for the next month or so was actually a free booking. I was in everyone's face. I'm like, hey, I have a 360. I can bring it to your event. I did what it took for the exposure. What I next did was I took videos and pictures of every single time I set the booth up. When I was setting it up, when I was breaking it down, when I was at the event, I was doing everything that it took to get the social proof so that everyone that would see me after that moment would know that I would be that I was in business, that I was active. They knew how many times I was doing events. They knew the caliber of what I brought to the table. They saw the interactions with the people as they got on. I was sure to capture how people felt about the service that I offered. So if you're kind of wondering, like, how do you jump into anything? How do you get it moving? How do you get people to see what's going on and to trust you? It's simply to show them what you've done. So I did this consistently. And over time, people started calling to actually book. So I set up everything on the back end. I did all that I needed to do. I registered the business actually a few months later. So please don't think that the first time I took it out, that everything was the way that it should be. I did everything, eventually. Set up my Sunbiz account. I created a website. I set up my social. I still use my old social at first. So what I was doing was Tameka James is Tameka James, right? It's me in all capacities. Everything that I do, the coach, the woman, the mom, everything that I am is Tameka James. But when I started CTJ 360 photo booth, I had to create a page just for that. So now I post what is CTJ 360 related on that page. And on Tameka James, I'll post a little bit of everything. So I continue to use my regular page until I built the other one up. Now, one of the things that I do now is I collaborate my pages. So my personal Tameka James, which is still me in business, I really don't just have a personal page. I don't, because I don't think that people just want to know about your personal life. Like, I spend my time on social, utilizing that time to let people know who I am and the person I am in business. So I collaborate the post. So I'll post on one page and I collaborate with the other one so you can see it on both ends. So now what I'm doing is I'm still utilizing my old audience while building my new audience. Okay. So when people know you, they know who you are, and they get to learn what's happening that's new. Okay. So that's how I operate. Let me see what else I want to share with you guys about my journey. So this today is all about the pivots that I've made. So the first pivot was I don't want to do hair. So now I'm going to do coaching. I did it for 2 straight years. It was amazing. And when I hit the bump in the road where I'm like, this is a little sketchy, I have to supplement my income, I started the photo booth business. But let me share that when I did that, I was very intentional. I took my photo booth to events where there were entrepreneurs that could potentially be my clients as me being the coach. So I only basically did business events where I took it, at no cost. And I met some clients, and it worked. I did get clients for me being a coach. And then they also booked me for their events that they were having. So very intentional along the way. So that was my first pivot, to come from behind a chair and to start the photo booth business. But then along the way, guys, I was sitting and, I just began to pray. I don't know what faith you guys have, and it doesn't matter, but I was praying my tail off. And I'm like, what else can I do? How can I take this to the next level? So I started taking a deep look at who I am as an individual, what I brought to the table, and what I felt that people needed. And that is where the next thing that I have is called the testimonies that was birthed, which is utilizing the same software that I've been using in my photo booth business to capture people saying how they feel about a person, place, or thing, and being able to share it with that person with the branding of the company that's hiring me on top of the video, and sharing it with the person that hires me. So now I call this arms and legs on the branding and marketing. So whatever we capture, the person that's recording the video gets a copy, as well as the person who brought us in. And these are able to be posted all over the place. So I also learned that people are doing events. They don't have a videographer and they don't have a photographer. Yet I have this whole system where I could take pictures of the people and grab snippets of video of what's going on, which is what I did at Sherry's event recently. They were on the stage, they're doing all sorts of things. Now, Sherry brought me in to do the testimonies. But as I'm looking, I'm like, there's some footage that we should capture that they could use later for their social media. And I'm going to capture it and make sure that it's shareable to anyone in the audience and to Sherry as well. So it has the branding to the event, it's easily posted. And when she got her gallery, she saw what else was in there. Now, here's another piece of me as a business owner. I am going to go above and beyond. So I don't know if you guys are here to just hear my story or if you're here to take a few notes. But if you hear me say something that resonates with you, take the note down, write it down, go above and beyond. They could ask you to do one thing, but if you are who you are in business and you know that you have more to share, share it, do it. Because guess what? They're going to remember you for it. They're going to tell someone else about it, and they're going to call you again, no matter what business you're in. And by the way, guys, this is fully interactive. So I see that Mikkel has raised his hand. Feel free to unmute and jump on in. I don't mind.
Unmute, Michael.
Good,
You're
good.
there you go.
Okay. Good
Michael,
morning. It was so good to see you.
great to see you as well.
Oh my God! Now I remember you. Woohoo!
Yeah.
I did an interview of you too. Woohoo!
Don't worry, we're gonna show that as an example. Don't worry.
That's an
Hope,
amazing. Let me
yeah.
ask you this: the reason we're here is because we want to grow, and in this group, with her leadership, it's imperative to grow. That's why we're here. It's unfortunately, this is out there for many other real estate agents. Out of the hundreds of thousands, only what? Only eight, only seven in this call? What? Do you know what? That means that we have the commitment. And that's why we are planting the seed that we're going to harvest in the future. That's why we're here.
He's the
Yeah.
best. I did not pay him to say that either.
Yeah, and I remember him as well. He actually is, yes.
Yes.
So guys, moving forward, I'm realizing what I have and what I can do. And I was just saying that you want to always go above and beyond, which is what I always do. So, a couple of things I want to share is that I realized that as I started this business, now I have to figure out, how do I expand it? Here's the question. How can you be in more than one place at one time? You can't, right? But you have to figure out, what can you do to get multiple things done. So I totally use technology for everything, guys. I use number one, recording myself saying any message that I need people to hear is super important to me. So there are moments in time where I will just stop and I just turn my camera on, make sure I have good lighting, and I say the message that I need the world to hear. Recording small snippets is imperative to your business because people want their questions answered. They want to know, do you have information? So sometimes I just stop, I do that, and then I go into my video editor and I just chop things up and I just put words on top and I post it so that people know what I need them to know. So one thing recently that I did on my social was to talk to my clients, the clients that I've been having. So I'm like, you guys bring me to your events, but are you utilizing the content? Here is something you should be doing. You should be taking the content, you should blah, 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 blah. So I do a live and I tell my audience what they need to know about working with me. Now, guess what's happening when I do that? My current audience is hearing me, my clients, but there's people who are not my clients yet. And they're hearing me talking to my clients about how they should use the content that I'm capturing. What do you think is happening? Someone that's never booked me before is hearing me say how the content should be used. And then they can see through that and they're like, maybe I should use her and get her to grab the content for me. And now I understand what she wants me to do with it once I actually have the content. So I'm talking to everyone when I am going live. So if you're not going live, I strongly suggest it. And you don't have to do it all the time, but it is important to do so. It's, and once again, important to just create video. Now let me share this. When I go live, sometimes what I'll do is I'll drop my own live. So I do it and then I actually go back and I save it. And then I can take the live that I did and then I can take that and I put it in my video editor and cut that up into pieces. Because the thing is, with a live, maybe you were speaking for like 10, 15, 20 minutes. I don't know. But if people are coming to your page, they might want to see just a short snippet of a specific message and then move on. So you could take out of the 10-minute live a 30-second snippet, a 1-minute snippet, and then just grab that and post it because you shared something that someone needed to hear. Okay.
What editor are you using?
Sure. I love, love, love CapCut.
I use
CAPCUT. It's like my favorite. Okay. And I was actually asked, should you use like the free version or should you use the paid version? I use the free version, I would say probably close to 2 years before I even went into the paid version. But now that I have the paid version, I absolutely love it because I'm not restricted. I don't have to worry about when I'm ready to put like a certain words on the screen. Like they'll only give you the ability to put like basic words, but if you want like different colors and different animations, you want to get the paid version, or you can pay every time that you actually create something. They also have so many assets in there that you can use, especially in a real estate business. You can go in there, they have content that's inside of the app where you can type in specifically, you can click on to add a piece of content or add an overlay, and there is content that's already in there, and you can type in there and say maybe a house, and it'll let you grab a house, and then it might have a video of movement in front of a house, and you can put that in your video. So there's so many things you could utilize in CapCut.
I have a question. I can't find the raise a hand thing quick enough. Sorry.
Fine.
So you know what? This is everybody's question, and people ask me this too. So I'm going to ask you this as a coach. I'm down to 45 minutes in CapCut. I know you're laughing at me, but I'm down to 45 minutes. It's frustrating. It doesn't come natural. I have a Fiverr guy who I'll make like little videos, I'll send it off. He's extremely inexpensive, but I push him. His turnaround time is 3 days, but sometimes he gets it to me like the same day if it's small. But like it's funny, I gave him all of your videos from the event and I gave him what I have from the photographer. I'm still waiting for the 3 videographers to give me their edited versions, whatever. The event was, I don't know, 3 weeks ago already. It's kind of old in my head. Where do you okay, so at whatever, we're all realtors here. And I know the shiny object chasers. I'm going to try this database. I'm going to use this service. I'm going to do this. And everything's cheap until you add it all up. How do you okay, let's use me. How do I say, okay, Tameka, I'm going to hire you because 45 minutes to an hour on a 45-second video is not income producing activity. But how do I know when it's time to do that, to hire somebody and just suck it up and pay?
Well, I mean, I would say if it's becoming too cumbersome for you to do it, then it's time to let it go. However, on the flip side, when you know exactly what to do, when you are editing your content, you will be able to move through that quicker. So I would say, number one, it would take a little education, just a little more education on top of what you already know, to know how to quickly move through. The other thing that you should know is you're probably spending a lot of time because you're making this long piece of content on a consistent basis, which is what everyone doesn't have to see that long thing. So you may want to now start looking at your content and saying, what's the quick message that they need to hear out of this piece of content so that I can just quickly edit it. So here's what I'm saying. What are you editing that is taking you 45 minutes? What type of content is that? Help me.
I'll be at some experience I've had, or I'll be at an open house, let's say, and I keep it down and I say, hey, everybody, what you're not supposed to say. And I introduce myself and say, this is one of the ones I did. I said, this is what an open house in Florida looks like. And then I have pictures of the pool, the kitchen, the and whatever. And then while nobody's at the open house, then I'm making the video and then posting it so everybody knows that I do open houses. But then it just gets carried away, and then the edit, it's hard. But like I said, I always teach agents that if somebody is getting paid to do something, then it's not your job. because I'm a realtor. It is not my job to spend 45 minutes posting social, doing that. It's my job to record it. And then, like you're saying, learn everything about it. It's a fine line, because I have agents that say they want to save the money. They don't want to spend the money, which I understand, especially, starting out. But then we're struggling and we're spending too much time and saying I should, and it doesn't get consistent either. So you're right. That handoff point is very, like, I'm working with Christopher right now. Christopher Nolan's doing AI in my database and all that. And another agent texted me and said, well, you should learn what they're doing. I'm like, no, hold on a second. Like, why? I know that's his job and the fee is not that high. So I'm going to have the expert do it. That way I could do what I'm good at. So it's just a fine line for agents, and I don't want them to spend money, but then sometimes I want them to spend the money so the return is larger. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah. So you can do a little bit of both. I'm going to say this. Everyone needs to still be utilizing their social and still needs to be posting on your own, even if you get someone to edit for you. I don't think you should just completely let it go. And let me tell you why. In your stories is the place where you can put the random pieces of content that you grab that no one's looking at it like it needs to be perfect. So when you're at an open house, you can do a little video, keep everything pretty short. Shoot a 1 minute to 2 minute video. Put that in your stories. It's only going to let you put 1 minute in there. Put that in the stories. And that's you saying, hey, this is the home that I'm showing today. And you put that in the stories. It goes there so that people who are following you are seeing where you were, that you're active. So you don't have to do too much in there. And then when you get to the feed, you can take that same piece of content, and there is something in CapCut called auto cut. Okay. And everyone should be utilizing auto cut. It is where it's another button in there. You click on it, and then you can take like 3, 4, up to 16 pieces of content. You hit auto cut, and it takes them and it brings them together, and it makes these fun videos. So when you do auto cut, it'll take what you had, and it'll take a piece of you waving, a piece of you showing the home, a piece of people walking by, and it'll put all of that together, and it'll make it a good fun piece of content that you on your own can post. It puts music behind it, has animations, all of that. So that is going to be your cheat code if I could help you today with what you
Is
could
that in
do.
the free version?
Yes, it is. It is.
Oh,
Yep. It's called
okay.
it's in the menu. Okay. So that's gonna help you out a lot. But still be in your stories posting and making sure that you're still just constantly showing up. Because the thing is, when you turn it over, if you don't have someone that is posting on a consistent basis for you, you're going to be upset that your feed is looking empty, or it looks like you haven't posted in days. So either you turn it all the way over and they have a schedule that they're posting on, or you're going to have to make sure that you let some things hit your feed. Okay.
And Sherry, don't ever forget that time that I got really upset when I signed up for them to post everything on mine, and the first post was ugly, and I told them it was ugly, and then he cut me off and he said I wasn't nice, and I was hurting like the other creators' feelings and all kinds of bad stuff.
Yeah, that was that strange company, and you paid a lot of money for that.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean, but I learned through it a lot of different things. We don't have to say everything I learned about it, but people's feelings do count. But it was definitely not what it didn't reflect me, and it wasn't really even that bad. It's just not what I was expecting.
So maybe that's why Tameka's saying, you should own your stuff
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. You always want to be able to post on your own as well. So, the easy thing that you guys could always post would be things like photos of where you are, the listings that you have, things like that. You can just post photos, and also make sure. So here's another tip that I have for everyone. Hopefully everyone is using AI. Is everyone using AI? Are you using ChatGPT at least? Please say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finally, yes.
Yes.
Yes, it becomes my best friend. And by the way, be kind and be nice with these guys, because if one day it turns back to you, you don't want to be on trouble.
It's not one day. I watched the news the other day. They said ChatGPT is starting to make its own decisions. I mean, that's why I'm like I said, I saw that movie. It's called The Terminator. I just told my mom last night. I said, "Mom, at your age, you know," and my mom's 78, and I said in 40 years from now when she passes away, 40 years, I said, "You're not going to see AI take over the world." I said, "I am, but you're not."
No, it's funny. So yeah, so AI is very important today. So if you find yourself stuck and you're trying to post, just go straight into your chat GPT or any tool that you're using and just talk naturally. And for me, basically, if I'm asking for it to produce something for me, I will hit the microphone button and record my voice, like speak to text.
Oh,
Texting like, can you please create a caption for this, that, or the other? I go into chat gpt, I open up the text box, and then I hit my microphone and I speak and I say, can you create a caption for LinkedIn, for a LinkedIn post? I would like for you to keep it fun, and I would like to whatever I wanted to do. I would like you to share that I have a listing that, well, a listing for a home that's 1.2 million and blah, 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 whatever you want to say. Okay. And it will produce something for you. And then you grab that and then you use it. So if you feel stuck, just go into ChatGPT and ask for it to create the caption for you. So you don't have to feel like you have to write, for so long. Okay.
can you put the video in there or no?
A video. I have not put a video in here, but I have put photos in. So you can
Oh,
take a photo that you are going to post and you can say, here is the photo. Can you help me to write a caption for this particular photo? Okay. If
oh.
you're hosting an event and there is a flyer for an event, you can take the graphic of the event, put it in there, and you can say, can you help me to write a caption for this event that's coming up? Things like that. So it can see those things as well. Yes.
Okay.
Currently, it says no videos, but I'm in the free
Oh.
version.
Yeah. Okay, good. I haven't done video, so I can't speak to it. Thanks for checking on that too, Hadley. So yeah, so those are some of the things that you can do to keep you from feeling stuck. What I do also, and just to share some tips, when I do go to ChatGPT, and now I'm posting on multiple platforms. Like now I'm going to take the caption and use it on LinkedIn. I'm going to use it on my Instagram. And if you're going to put it on like a Facebook, I will grab it from ChatGPT, copy it, and I put it in a note section in my phone. And now in the note section is where that caption is. So now when I go to the
Oh,
next, I copy it, and then I paste it to the next platform. Okay. So that's
that makes sense.
what I do. Another thing that I do when it comes down to that, let me share. This is a little deeper because I use multiple phones. Does anyone have more than one phone here? Anyone?
I
Okay,
am. I have to.
two phones.
Me too.
So I have an iPhone. They're all iPhones. And in the note section, if you have the same Apple ID for all of your phones, when you post something in the notes, it'll show up on the other phone, right? You have two lines on one phone. Okay, chill out. So
I think so.
I do is I use my notes, because when I open up either phone, I can see what I posted in the note section on either phone. Okay. So another thing that I do, because you guys have two phones, but I actually have four, and two of them, I'm sorry. I do have this business. So two of them have a different Apple ID. So the note thing that I was speaking about, I can't see the same note on each phone. But what I can do is create a note on one phone and collaborate the note with the other phones. Okay. So when you collaborate the note, it means that when I put something in the note on any of the phones, it'll show up. So if I want to see something on all of the devices, that's a tactic that I use. Okay. If you guys as agents, right, let's just say that you guys decide to work together for posting, and you say, we're all going to post blank today. And then someone creates a caption for the post. Like everyone's going to go and they're showing a home today. And one of you decides to create a caption. You go into ChatGPT, you write it. All of you could collaborate on a note, and then you could utilize the same caption for all of you. I'm just saying how you all can help each other. So if I collaborate the note with Rachel, I'm just gonna make a note in my phone. I get the chat GPT thing going. I put it in there, and then I collaborate the note with Rachel's phone number. I collaborated with Michael.
Oh,
Now everybody could see what we put in there. So every time you add something to the note, everybody could see it. So if you guys wanted to help each other, that's something you could do. Okay.
yeah, I'm planning my girlfriend's 60th, and I don't know how, yeah, I don't know how she did it. She put in the notes her guest list with all their phone numbers for me, and she said, "Hey, I added 2 more," and I could see everything she's writing in the notes. Like,
She clicked at the top of the note, she clicked to collaborate. So in the dots at the top is
yeah.
note with someone else, and then it shows you collaborate. And when you text it to them through the collaboration, they're gonna see it every time that you change something.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, just not to take up too much of your time, do you have, and I should have told you before, do you have that video that you can queue up real quick of your idea of having, you guys have to see this, and I want it to be recorded, of the interviews you did of the people leaving an open house?
Oh yeah. Let me see. Yeah.
You guys have to see this. She's come up with so many great ideas for us as realtors. It's, oh, thank you, Rachel. And then Hadley's probably texting me directions. Yeah, she totally just shared it with me to teach me how to do it. I'm like, so funny to be in this generation because I'm right there. I can understand this stuff, but it takes me longer than other people. It's like I'm right at the cusp. But you guys have to see this. What a great idea. Now, it would probably have to be in an open house that's busy, which is sort of rare nowadays. But this is just such a great idea. Whose idea was this to make, if you don't mind my asking? Was it yours or the realtors?
Oh, it was me. And I
Oh,
actually
that's great.
had a real estate event, and I shared it, and they were like, "Oh, I love this. I love this."
You guys have to see this. This is crazy. And this is something I would do easily. Here's the thing though. I was thinking about this. You have to get permission from the seller to do it. And like the seller may not want to hear, like it could be scary.
Did I have to get permission from the seller?
Did the
Um,
listing agent get permit, like say to the seller, "Hey, is this something we can do
they can be
outside your home?"
No, they actually did not get permission from them. So her idea, okay, so I just pulled it up. So let me pull it up simultaneously. All right, so here we go.
You need sharing. Oh, there you go.
All right, so
There it
this
is.
agent decided that so this was a $1.2 million listing, and she wanted the sellers to understand what people loved or did not like about the home, and she needed it firsthand. So she brought me in to get the people who were viewing the home to say how they felt about it. So here we
That's
are.
insane.
Mhm. So here we are, and I also took photos of the home while I was there as well. So it was like double duty here. Okay, so let me see if I can play. I'll just play any one of these. I don't even remember what. So you just had a chance to view the property. I want to know, what do you think the price should be, and what did you like?
I think it needs to be maybe around 850 or so. The biggest selling point for me is the view and the yard area. Lots of space, steps to the beach.
Yeah.
You can't ask for more.
All right, thank you. All right, so we did separate videos with them. What do they love? What don't they like? We asked them different questions. And then let me see. So here's other folks saying, now these are actually agents. This is an agent here, and I don't remember what she said, but let's see
Go
what she
ahead.
said. So we love your feedback in regards to what you did not particularly like about the property.
Oh, well, so there wasn't a whole lot I didn't like about property because I'm a potential person. I like what I can do with the home.
Yes.
If there's anything different I do is maybe match the floors on all levels or make the bathrooms all match. But other than that, I like the uniqueness of this property.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, we're glad to have you here today.
you.
Thank you.
Oh my God, she wants them to redo all the bathrooms and all the floors, but it's not much. Oh my God.
Right. Yeah. So there were so many things that we were able to capture from them. So they just went on and on with how they felt and things like that. So it was beautiful. So what she was able to do was to take, so she gets the link to all of these videos and she can give that to the seller to say, hey, this is what people said, this was their feedback. And from there, she was able to sell the home. So, you know, and also because they were visiting, they're reviewing these videos, they all get a copy of the video. So if they wanted to help her to sell the home, if it's a person that's just viewing or if it's another agent, they could post the video, you know? And so a lot could happen with this, a lot.
Was there a certain cost for that, or did you make a special deal, or what?
So my cost is actually 200 an hour. So it just depends how much time someone wants me there, and it's by the hour. Yeah.
Got
So
it.
I actually spent 2 hours with her. And that was because she wanted to, we did some photos. And as you can see, I did extra photos, different things. But yeah, she felt like 2 hours would be, you know, sufficient to get all of what she needed. And, you know, for a $1.2 million home, I mean, $400 is not much.
Oh, that's super.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we don't get paid until we sell. So
Okay.
she they may not even sell, but, and this is, you may not have to do this complete idea with the home, but there's other ideas. And if you invest a little bit of money at certain, it's, yes, we say treat all listings the same, but obviously you're not going to spend this on a $50,000 listing. But you don't have to do this exact thing, but I'm sure Tameka has great ideas about coming into listings and doing, certain tours and videos. It's kind of cool because if these video, how they say now you're supposed to be walking through a house and now you see all the realtors walking through the homes. But that could cost $750 to $1,000, to do those videos. So maybe if you had an idea where you wanted Tameka to come out and film you, describing the house. And like I said, if you took it and if she's there for the hour, right, then you could chop it up and make it, you can have content for life. Like you could do funny things and, or I guess whatever, right? So Sheila, go ahead.
It's actually strange that we're having this Zoom because I just came across I get a lot of good ideas through social media, and I saw a video last night that he says, if you're having a hard time with your open houses and people showing up, do a social media open house. And I was like, excuse me? And he was actually explaining like to do a social media open house so that other photographers and other social media influencers go into the house with you. And here we are having this. So I was just like, this is exactly around the same thing because it's more of a video / history / more of the eyes on it. And I was just like, okay. It was just something I came across and I gotta get more information on it, but I thought it was super cool.
Yeah, a lot of realtors are coming to me now saying that they're going to other realtors' $1 million listings, 2 million, 5 million, who cares? Walk in and you can always, I did have a $3.3 million and I said, make it yours. I don't care. Get permission from everyone who you need to get permission from. And that is cool, Sheila, to go. A lot of people are going and making video. Actually, I did that with Aviva's $8.5 million listing. The video is not great, but I've never been in an $8.5 million house in Boca. So I was like, oh my God, look, I'm walking on water. It was silly. But again, people don't know. They think it's mine. They think I'm out there. They're like, wow, you're all over the place. So it helps with perception. So actually, guys, that's a great idea. If you pick a listing that you want to raise your level, let's say, or even it's okay if it's 400,000, ask the realtor if you can go in, if they would mind, if you made a video, because, and the Sherry part of this is get it in writing in an email, because if you do film someone else's house, it's not your listing with photos of family in there and stuff. You have to be careful of posting. That's the little disclaimer, but get all that permission and go act like the listing's yours. And people will think you're all over the place.
So here's my take on that.
Yeah.
When you're nervous about posting and the posting being something you have to edit and all of that, do a live go live and just walk through the home, and you can have a twist on it. You can say, I'm here and I want to share that this is a blank dollar listing or whatever. And here's my thoughts on the stairs, the walls, the whatever. Like, you just go in and you kind of critique the property, and you become a person that's like just sharing what a property looks like, what you think about it. And you can not even say anything else. People will think whatever they're going to think from there. So like, you can just go in and start kind of critiquing properties. So you guys know how your business runs, but I'm just saying that there are multiple ways to walk in and just create content surrounding you being an agent.
It's a great idea.
My favorite content to this day, and I don't care if anybody likes it, is storage. When I started doing my real estate, I'm such a storage junkie that I would go to the houses and just share with people, like, this storage, that storage, the basement, you can fit water here, you can fit water there, you can do this. I'm like, this storage to me, for some reason, because I'm so passionate over it, as you can hear from my voice, that I just couldn't help it. And you'll be surprised in how many people look up the word organizing and storage. So the views that you get from organization and storage hashtags are insane. Just saying.
No, and you're right. You can't be fake. You have to be authentic. So if you're passionate about storage, you're not going to be passionate about silverware. You know, I can't think straight, but you're going to be passionate about storage, and people will be able to see that.
But Sheila, think about this. I know, like, I was just apartment hunting for my sister, and she was just loving all of the closets. She was loving, that there is an additional storage room outside. So like, people are looking for that. So you definitely can share, look at the amount of storage that this particular home has. Like, just what you said, that could be your thing. It could be a thing like, oh my gosh, I'm here, I have to figure out where the storage is, because I know you guys want to know. You can make it a fun thing, and everybody can have their own thing of what they're actually looking at the properties to share. Or you can pick maybe 3 things about a property that you consistently share all the time. It could be the front door, the entrance, if it has a foyer. It can be the storage, and it could be bathrooms. And you could be
My
like,
other one is because we live in Florida and we have so many broken people, speaking for myself and my husband, but the steps, honestly, you will be surprised on how many people don't take into consideration the steps, and like the girl said, to keep all the floors level, because a lot of people shuffle.
yeah.
And no, like, there is so many people that shuffle because they're broken and it hurts. So I have made a point. I think it's my storage, my steps, and oddly, outlets.
You know what?
There's a song about that.
So guys, from this conversation, I would love for all of you to walk away thinking about, what do you know that the people that are buying homes from you, what do you know that they really care about? And how can you get their attention to share with them what they really want to know about a home? Like, forget about, I'm just selling a home. What are the key things that you know that they need to know? And every time you go and you do a video, that you go straight to that. Like, Sherry, honestly, you were asking earlier, like, I think your question also was, how do you take this big piece of content, kind of bring it down so that it's easy for you to edit? How about just shoot what's necessary? Guys, don't shoot things that that's going to cause you more pain and strife when it's time to edit. Just shoot the thing that's important. That way you just have snippets of things, and you can just put them together quickly. So stop recording everything. Don't do it. Don't clog up your phone with things that you're not going to use. There are only key things that people are looking for that you want to share, and just record that and put it in their faces. Okay. I told you guys about auto cut. If now your thing is, Sheila's going to look at the foyer, the storage, and the bathroom, she's going to get quick snippets of these things, pictures and videos, and she's going to put them in there. Sheila can do a video now, and she now has, like, I don't know, 10 different pieces of content, because she's captured this when she went into this home. She goes into auto cut and she just puts 12 pieces of 3 of the foyer, 3 of the bathroom, and 3 of the storage. And then her auto cut just goes through all of them. And then she puts
Okay.
the word on the screen, bathrooms, foyer, and storage. Check it out. And now you're done. People are seeing these different snippets. There's so many different ways. So
That's a
many.
great idea. So not to, again, we're not going to take advantage of yours or anyone else's time. Please put all of your contact information for me in the chat, number 1. And number 2, if you wouldn't mind pulling up my event and we could play Michael's interview a little bit so you guys can kind of see. So it's funny. And while she's doing that, I'm going to talk. You think, oh, even if it's so here's the thing, even if it's a very small event you're hosting, or even one that you're going to, get permit. So I don't know if you guys know what's his name? There's this social media guy who's absolutely amazing. And he was at the rally in Orlando last year. And I said to him, I'm like, my dream is to have social media following me around like they're following you around and editing everything. I go, how do I do that? He goes, it's a lot of money. But to have someone like Tameka, who maybe you can have for 2 hours, 3 hours, an hour, and to start building up is a great thing. So here's the thing. You think, and Tameka, I know you could speak to this. You think handing a microphone to someone, they're going to be like, oh, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. Tameka, I think you told me at my event, only 2 people were like, I don't want to say it. Yeah, everyone else grabs the mic.
Yeah, they did. They did. So there's
Christopher. There's Michael. Go play that for real quick.
Michael Alonso again here. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Few words that are staying with me today is about the unity, it's about the camaraderie, it's about the support, it's about the resilience, it's about the support and help you grow. EXP is more about just one word. It's about huge network community that we're right now almost all over the world. Thank you, and gratitude is my last one. Be grateful for what you have. Thank you.
Aw, Michael.
So that would make that's great content for Michael to take that and do. And that's what's so great about Tameka. So I got all of this, but right there on the spot, she's getting the phone numbers of the people that are doing the interviews. So they're getting it too. Right there on the spot.
And this was like the content from. So these are just pieces of content from the event that Sherry also has that she can utilize later for whatever she needs to use it for. When
great.
Stage. And you said something about following someone around. I want to pull up something real quick that represents what you just said. Let me see if I can get my screen to move over here. Okay, let's see if I can grab this. There we go. Okay, I want to show you following. This is a different event, a different person, but this. So Travis Mack, following him around at an event. I covered him. He was a keynote speaker. And then as he just moved through the hallways, I'm just following him. I have a microphone on him. Whatever he's saying to people, the conversations he's having, he's already mic'd up. So whoever he's talking to, let me see how this went.
Hold the conversation, kind of give you because it's really important, right? I mean, we deal with people constantly, and being able to navigate some of those some of those challenges, some of those hills that we come up and that we face, and trying to build relationships is a little difficult sometimes. So, and you got to know how to navigate through that.
Yeah, especially for leaders.
So this is just me following him. So when she's speaking about following you, wherever you are, just a camera on you and a microphone, and you connecting with the people and pictures of you doing whatever you do. These two are walking and talking. And then he gets interviewed at some point, and I'm behind the scenes with that.
Hey, motivating. How do you say, you talk about the journey?
So yeah, it can happen in a lot of different ways, guys. So I love that you just shared that they can be followed. Yeah.
Yeah,
And when
that's my
you have
dream.
a camera on you, it makes you look very important. Like, who's following, this person? And wow, why? Why are they being followed?
I'm
Yeah.
Sherry Roberts, and everybody should be following me around.
Yes. So there are a couple of things. I know we're at time at this point, but I did want to share that I personally have taken classes on people skills. And I wanted to share that because I think as an agent, when you know and understand people, it's easier to make a sell. It's easier to know when you can take a camera out on who, because when you understand people, you can read body language. So sometimes people are trying to figure out, when can I take the camera out? When is it okay? When is it not? You have to be able to read body language. So, you also have to be able to know when you can ask someone if you can take a camera out or if you should just do it. Also, facial expressions are truly important, and they're going to help you to understand who's in front of you and what you and understand what else you need to do. Body language as well. And when it comes down to social media, guys, people don't care about what you say that you will do. They care about what you have done. So if you really want to do yourself a favor, keep having your camera out, showcasing where you are, what you're doing, who you're interacting with, the location where you are, the caliber of the property that you're showing. Share the tips that you have, information that you know, so that people know that they can trust you. People are looking for the agent that understands what they're doing, that knows the ins and outs. So if you have inside information, you have to let the world understand that you know what you're talking about. The things that you think are not important or they're just like minute, those are the things that people are trying to figure out who can they go to get the answers about. So stop thinking that, oh, they already know this. No, they don't. They actually don't. How do people know whether they should get a home if it has mold in the corner? If you know what mold looks like and you know that you can identify it as soon as you see a little tiny piece of it, you need to make sure that people understand that you know what it looks like so you can identify it to keep them out of trouble. Everything that you do to keep the buyer or the seller, however it works, out of trouble, you need to be sharing that. So if you're trying to figure out what your content should be, it's everything that's going to help them. Everything.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Tameka, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that was I had some other notes here, but I don't know how much time we have. But for me, relationship building is important. Utilizing systems to get everything done, even with my social media. One of the systems I use is I will create a post when I have extra time, and then I will either put it in as a draft, I save it as a draft so that I can post it later, or I actually click to schedule it out. So if you're finding that you have like 30 minutes now and you can create something, create it and then schedule it, or create it and then make it a draft and then go back in and post it later. And to me, my social presence is everything. It allows me to let people see what I've done, to see who I am, and to trust me. So this is really important for all of us. And I also feel like everyone should have their own logo for your own name. I don't care who you work for, where you are in the world. I created a logo with my name a long time ago. And if I ever want to put something up because I'm speaking or just because I'm showing up somewhere, I have a logo of my own name. So I wanted to share those things before I close out today because those are some of the things that are really important in the world of social media marketing and branding.
Yay. I want to thank you so much. We could talk to you for hours. You're just, you have so much, a wealth of information. I put all your contact information in, and real quick, I know, I got to help you. What are your travel parameters?
What am I say that again?
Your travel parameters, because I have agents all over Florida. We're also in Arizona, but I know this is not about Arizona, but how far will you travel in Florida?
So I'm in Pembroke Pines, and I generally travel about an hour and a half up or down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you, Hadley is in, she's in Port St. Lucie, and she asked for a travel, a travel fee. I'm sure, I'm not saying you'll go to Jacksonville. Sorry, Michelle Murray. I know you're not here today, but, I'm sure Port St. Lucie or, that's not too bad, but, and then it'll be a fee for that, correct?
Yeah. So I believe that's like 2 hours from me, I believe, right?
Don't be
Really?
jealous. Don't be jealous. I'm gonna book her all the time, so don't be jealous. He's in my
I know,
backyard.
because he's in Miami.
Yep.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, he's not far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with traffic, you're probably at a good 2.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. I actually would stretch it to 2 hours. Yeah. That would be the furthest. And then after that, I need to be on a plane or something.
That's so funny. Hold
Yeah,
on, I'm gonna.
Yeah, and as far as travel parameters, like for flights, yeah, everywhere. I'll go anywhere with the flight. Yeah. I've done
See,
New Orleans recently. I did New Orleans. I'm actually going to Maryland this weekend to do an event. It's going to be for a family member, but they are paying me, so it's a real event. Yeah. So I'm covering for an event this weekend as well. Yeah. So yeah.
Hey, Tameka, can I add something there? I'm so proud of you, how you know how much you're worth. I'm so proud of you that you just give these ladies right here another great tool. This is for you, ladies. This is for Rachel, Sherry, Sheila, and Daniel too, with the men. But for you guys, articulate the way that you just did. I'm so proud of you for that. Thank you. You girls rock. I'm with the men. We're going to go and get it. Let's go.